Hello everyone, and in this video we are going to learn how to create a Symfony 5 REST API without using any bundle. Okay, so as usual we are going to create a project. As you can see here, I have already created a project with the name CRUD API, and make sure your XAMPP, your Apache and MySQL should be running. Okay, so and make sure you have already downloaded your Postman. Okay, so with the help of this we are going to test our API, create, update and delete. Okay, so as you can see here, we have already created our created our project, and let's get into a project. cd CRUD API. I'm going to close this, and since we will be also working with the MySQL, we are going to install Composer, Composer require ORM. Okay, so with the help of this we are going to work with the MySQL. As you can see, it is installing the ORM. So make sure you open this as well, localhost phpMyAdmin. In here we are going to create our database. Let's keep our database name as CRUD API. Create, and this is it. And now we are not going to do anything else here. We are going to do everything from here. Type yes or Y, and our doctrine bundle bundle got installed. Okay, so I'm going to close this CODE. I'm using VS Code to work with the project, and I have opened this project in VS Code. Here you can see our project has been created, and let's first configure our .env. Okay, since we are not going to use database and PostgreSQL, I'm going to comment this and uncomment this part. And the name of our database was CRUD API, and we don't have a DB user, so instead of this we're gonna write root and DB password as empty. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now we have created our project. Now let's create the entity. PHP bin / console. What I forgot was to install the maker bundle. Composer require maker. So make sure to install this maker bundle as well, because if we don't install this maker bundle, we are not going to create anything. Excuse me. Yep, our maker bundle got installed. Okay, now we are going to create the the entity. PHP bin / console make entity, and the name of the entity CRUD. Okay, CRUD. Yeah, so this is this will work. The first property title and another property. Let's keep content, and this is it. We are just going to work with two field, okay, or two property. And now we need to create the migration. Okay, so I'm just going to copy paste and create the migration. Okay, now we need to run this migrate. So after running this command, after this running command, we can see the table here. Okay, so I'm going to reload this page, and as you can see here, our table has been created with title and content. So this is it. Okay, so I think we are done with the database configuration, and now let's go to SRC, and we are going to create the controller. Okay, so again I'm going to use the cmd phpbean/console make controller, and let's keep straight API, and the API controller has been created. Symfony server start. Okay, so this is going to start the server. Yeah, so so our Symfony server is running. Yep, welcome to Symfony 5.4.0. okay, so since we are going to work with the API, so we're not going to use sorry we are not going to use the browser. Okay, so instead we are going to use Postman. So if we go to our controller, as you can see here, our first route/API. okay, so this is created by default. Okay, so let's test this route. So if you have if you have newly installed this Postman, so this is what you see. So to make sure to get registered, sign up and log in. Okay, so I'm going to create this collection. So if you reach here, you will see the plus sign. So as you can see here in my mouse cursor, I'm going to click this, and we have to provide the URL. So in our case, which is localhost:8000 and the name of the route. So in our case, it is API. Okay, so send. So as you can see here, welcome to your new controller path, and this one, and all this thing. So basically, so this one. Okay, so I'm going to put this thing as it is. Okay, I'm going to create the new route, and instead of index, I'm going to write post API. I'm going to copy this, and after the API, we are going to use this post API as a route. Okay, so rename this as well. And here we need to provide the methods. So if we are posting something, we are going to provide the method post. Okay, so if we go to a browser, and okay, so if I search this REST API, okay, we are going to use the first result. So here we are going to see different types of methods. So here in our project, in this video, I'm going to use 4. So which is post get, and put and delete. This is taking a little bit while, maybe because of the internet. Okay, so here it is just the all the definition and all. Okay, I'm going to show you the different types of methods. Yep, here. Yeah, here you can see get retrieve information about the REST API resource. So anything we want to fetch. Okay, so we are going to use method get. And the create a REST API resource post. Okay, so if you want to post something and put it into database, we're going to use this method post. And if you want to update something through the API, so we are going to use put. And if you want to delete something, so we are going to use delete. Okay, so I think this is it. So if you want to know more about the REST API, so you can get from the internet. Okay, so let's get back to our project. In here we have created the route and the method equals to post. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that now we need to put the data into database. Okay, so let's go to our Postman and I'm going to create a new tab and provide our route, so which is post API. Okay, so now we're not going to test right now. Okay, so because we need to first send the data to the route. So click here on the body and click on the raw. Okay, so here we can create the JSON. Okay, so first parameter title, hello world, and the second parameter content written in C. Okay, so this is just the random. Yeah, so this is our JSON, and when we hit on the send, so it should be captured here. Okay, so for that what we're gonna do is that, okay, so let's first import the entity app/entity and the name of the entity, so which is CRUD, CRUD. Okay, so this is it for here now. Yep, and we also need to get the request, request request. QUST, create the object of the class request. In here, in order to get the content from the Postman, let's do something like this: parameter equals to JSON decode, and inside here we need to get the data from the request get content, get content, and after the comma true. Okay, so we are going to dump it. Let's see it is capturing or not. Preview. So as you can see here, it is capturing the JSON data from the Postman. Okay, so now we are going to put this inside the database. So we need to create the object CRUD equals to new CRUD, and so if you have already done with the Symfony CRUD application, so it won't be much hard to get. Okay, so it won't get much hard to grab the concept. Okay, so basically these are the few things you must remember while working with the API. Okay, so here in our entity we have two properties, title and the content, and we are going to insert the captured data into database. Okay, so CRUD set, and the name of the function set title, set title. Okay, so this set title and the other method, the get set content, we're getting this from here, from this entity. All right, and set title. Okay, so here we need to put the title, and here we need to pass the title. Okay, so basically this title is coming from here, so this one. Okay, so whatever you write here, so make sure it should be exact same here also. Okay, so this will going to put the title, and the second was the content, CONTENT, and content, and again exactly it should be content. So as you can see here, it is content, and here it also should be content. Okay, so I think this is it. Now we need to call the doctrine. Get doctrine, get doctrine, get mana, get manager, persist, 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 flus, flush, and inside the persist it should be CRUD. Okay, our entity object. In here we are going to pass the success message. Let's write inserted SU successfully. Okay, so let's test our API. Inserted successfully, and if we go to our MySQL, here you can see the data has been inserted successfully. Sorry. Okay, so we are done with the insertion part. Now we are going to work with update. Okay, so basically the create and update are a bit similar. I'm just going to just rename the name of the route. So as I told before, the method should be put. And we don't need this part. And so there will be the extra parameter, and that is the ID. Okay, so we are since we are working with the update, so we must be sure that which ID data must be updated. Okay, so what I forgot was the which data must be updated. Okay, so first we need to face the data whose ID we are passing through the API. Data equals to this get doctrine, get doctrine, get repository, and which repository we are using. So basically, it's obviously it's CRUD, CLASS class, and find ID. Okay, so this is what basically return is, which ID we have to which ID data we have to update. Okay, so basically here in our MySQL we have hello world with ID1. Okay, so let's first persist few data. Server language. Okay, I'm going to persist view. Framework and we have three data with ID 1 to 3. Okay, so with the help of the ID we have to update. Again, let's test our data, data, and let's go to our Postman. Okay, I'm going to copy this, create a new tab, and since we are working with the update part, so I think the name of our route was update. Okay, let me check. Yep, it's update. And here our method is put, so here it also must be put. Okay, so we need to pass the ID, so let's give 2. Here you can see it is facing exactly data with the ID 2, PHP server-side language. Okay, so now I think this is it. I'm going to remove this part and I remove this part and here data is here the data is storing the data which is being fetched with the help of this ID. Okay, so instead of CRUD we need to replace this one, data. So now it will update the data with the ID. It will update the data which has the ID which has been passed through the API. Okay, so let's update change our success message, updated successfully. Here we can see we have passed ID2. I'm going to copy this JSON part and here in the body raw I'm going to paste it, and the 2 was I think the PHP. So in the content let's write PHP is a server-side language. Okay, so I'm going to send undefined variable CRUD because here in persist it should be CRUD. In here updated successfully, and if you go to our table here, number 2, PHP is a server-side language, so it has been updated. Okay, so we are done with the update and now we are going to work with the delete. DELET, delete. I'm going to replace this update with delete. And here we don't need this set and JSON decode and all this stuff. Okay, so we are not working with the request, we are just working with the ID. ID, and the you make sure to remove to rename the name as well, and the methods must be delete, delete. And since we are working with the deletion of the data, so instead of proceed, it should be remove. And the success message, let's write deleted successfully. Okay, so I'm going to copy this again, create a new tab, put it here. So the method must be a delete. Okay, so let's remove the first post. Send. Preview, no root found. Actually it should be delete API. Okay, so basically I'm using the update, and which is basically throwing the no root found, because here the method is put. Okay, I'm going to do it again, deleted successfully. And if you go to our table, the number 1 post is gone. We have only 2 and 3. Okay, so I think this is it. I think we are done with the create, update, and delete. Okay, so let's try with the last one. So basically which is fetching everything. Okay, so we don't need the ID here. Fetch underscore API, fetch all. Okay, it sounds a little bit appropriate. I think this one is also get. This one, let me check. Get post put, delete. Yeah, it is get. Okay, so since we are fetching everything, so it should be find all. Okay, so what basically does this is it will get everything. Okay, so since we are not doing with create, update, and delete, we don't need this part. Instead, we are going to pass data to the Postman, whatever it is getting. Okay, so we need to post back to the Postman. Okay, so let's try with the data. I'm going to copy this again, create new tab, fetch all API and no other parameter. Sending request. Preview could not retrieve fetch. Maybe you forgot. Okay, so I think I did some mistake. Yep, because we don't have the ID. And it is basically nothing. So in order to view the data, we have to put this inside the for each loop. For each data as d res equals to d. Okay, so basically you can write whatever you want. For each data as d, data is for each data as $d, it should it should basically display everything. I think I missed somewhere. Okay, so let me initialize this one for a while. And still it is returning empty. So I'm going to do like this. ID equals to d get ID, comma, and the title d get title, get title, and the third parameter content, content, get content. I think this will work. I'm going to remove this. Yep, so here you can see it is returning everything. Only the last one, I guess. Okay, so it is not fetching everything. So in order to that, we have to provide the two bracket here and click on this end. It will fetch everything. Okay, so here you can see. Okay, so I hope you guys understood the concept of the API. Okay, see you on the next video.